Hello there, everyone. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitive medium, personal awareness life coach. And I just wanted to say hello. And here I am in life clarifications, which means that I love to support you in these moments of where life is dancing with us. Well, I feel like that all of us right now are going through some immense changes. They could be seeming as little as that someone gives us a call and tells us some life altering experience that doesn't necessarily engage with us, yet at the same time, it shifts us. And then at the same time, that we are here to do what we're going to do. So, with that, I want to say it's time for us to breathe. And when we breathe, life can change a little bit. Boy, we've had a ride. We have really had a ride. And, it started back, well, years ago, but it started here about the intensity of the now started back, I would say it was uh, in May with that full moon. Then we had the solstice, then we had the new moon eclipse, and then we had a full moon, and then a new moon. And now we're here, what, the ninth, so tomorrow, or the 8th, tomorrow into Friday, we're having a new moon. So new beginnings again. Well, like I said on my last live was is that, after the 4th, a lot of us felt shell shocked. Felt that shell shockedness. And that shell shockedness didn't come from the fireworks. They came from the emotional roller coaster we were on before that. So being on that emotional roller coaster that we've been on since uh, the eclipse and the solstice energy, making decisions, how can we become who we are, that it seems like things just pop out of the blue. Like I have someone that heard from someone that they haven't heard from for a long time. Another one was that they ended up having some big body changes. And then someone else ended up finding out that what they thought was a truth with the person they were with wasn't what they thought it was. Not that it was a life altering change in their relationship, but it triggered. And that's what I want to talk about today is the trigger. That these things have triggered. Like I was having another conversation with someone and he witnesses this person who was healthy decided not or decided making some personal choices and addictions. That's all I'm going to say. Addictions. Not looking like herself. And then now she thought he sees her going through getting help and then now slipping back down again. Well, isn't that a metaphor for life? Is that switching around and around and around? And I just got the image of something. If you look at the mirror in back of me, how many of me's do you see? How many of me's do you see? Because the mirror image, the mirror image, the mirror image, the mirror image. Life happens and we get this ripple effect of things that trigger us. Wow. Isn't this interesting that life is doing? I'm going to have to stop being distracted here. Because that's a great metaphor for life, that we go into these things that happen to us, and there's this ripple effect that happens. And the wisdom that we get and the grace that we have. Oh, Oh, wow. Okay. So I just wanted to put out there that as I speak and as I go, that when there's something that I say, and I'm going to be honest with you, I may trigger something in you. That's the gift because I can tell you that there's something that happened to me that triggered me. It's actually a gift that's happening, yet at the same time, though, that trigger triggered that emotion in me, that part of me that says, "Wow, what what part of me is hurt? What part of me?" Well, I'm going to tag it's the Natasha that keeps getting knocked around. And that's all I'm going to say about her is that she keeps getting knocked around. She's the one that felt um, she's the one that felt hurt when I was in Spain and my roommate moved out. Love the person who did that, triggered this part of me that helped me grow. Great. I'm grateful for that experience. Still hurt. The part of me that didn't get picked on the playground. Grateful for that experience. It gave me a chance to observe myself. Still hurt. The Natasha that didn't have friends, that would hear the person next to me be invited somewhere, they would look at me and then walk away. That person, grateful for that experience, gave me a chance to grow. Still hurt. So with that as we work through life and go forth, me being intuitive, yes, I can feel things happening, yet sometimes I don't tag it. I can't tag it. And And when so it's elusive. It's like, what's out there coming towards me? And that almost sometimes makes me go, "Oh, okay. Let me check in with it. Let me see where we're at." So knowing that even though I'm intuitive, even though I know things are happening, I still get tripped. I still get tripped because there's that Natasha since day one was the one that was sitting in front of the window waiting for a person who was supposed to my parents said that was supposed to come and never came. And she got told, even though my parents knew 4 days before that, told that day that she was supposed to come, she's not coming. And I was looking for that. So with that, grateful for that experience, helped me grow. That's the Natasha that's hurting. So I'm going to offer something to you that when we're going through life and life is happening to us and we're getting triggered, can you please sit for a minute and just be with it and ask, who's being triggered? Hmm. And sometimes it's the first image that comes to you, and it could be an old child moment. You can go, oh, tag, it's her, isn't it? Or him, isn't it? Yeah. Grateful for those moments. Help me grow. Still stings a little bit. Triggers are here to support our inner growth. oh, ouch. That's a moment. Triggers are here to support our inner growth. When we're in this inner growth, it's not going to be sometimes easy. And I'm going to tell you, grief is going to be a part of this dance. Grief is really going to be a part of this dance. And as we walk through the grief part of this, give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug because those are the moments that life stings. And I can tell you that when I awoken to this, I got to get down into the nitty-gritty of this. I called a friend and she helped. I spent time with another friend. Even, we did some messaging and looking and talking with each other. That those moments helped me get out of the spinning of the moment, the spinning of the trigger, that what the moment. And if and if Kathy is watching, can you type in what the word that we came up with? Because I really like that word. It was three words that we came up with. It was uh, uh, um, duck flubble. It's just, I'm going to clean my window here. There we go. It's that moment. I needed to get clarity. See, getting clarity, getting those moments where we need to have clarity. And me cleaning my camera kind of was a metaphor. How can we move through what we're doing and staying in that pain of, I'm just gonna say, fuck. So instead of saying the F word to the person, I'm gonna say the F word to the it. That it of the emotion, the it of that um, scenario. Because half the time it's not the person's responsibility; it's how I'm taking it. And as we walk and as we go through life, the the ick of the it needs to be worked with. Hmm. Love is a part of that trigger. And I'm going to say this again. Love is part of this trigger. Sometimes it's not easy to see it. Sometimes it's very much obviously I'm trying to find a word and there's no word for it. That when we're going through those moments of trigger, do you ever notice that it's in a time right before a lot of personal inner growth? I can say me, it is. We're always going through something that triggers a part of us, our inner child, our our adult self that felt shame, uh, or the part of us that felt shame. I'm not going to say adult. The part of us that feels shame, the part of us that feels judgmental, the part of us that feels the part of us that is labeled um, uh, sad, the part of us that is labeled grief, the part of us that is labeled mm. Sometimes there's no words to it. So with that, know that as we get triggered, and I can tell you that there's not one person that hasn't been triggered lately. I had, for me, my body's been triggering me too because of my diet having to change so extremely. There's always going to be something, but I'm going to offer to you that there's this new moon coming up. And we have a choice: either sit in the victim of it, of that trigger, or honor the grief of it, weep, cry, ask the why, ask those moments of ugh, and then also say, on that other side of that same coin, say, okay, where are you taking me? What's new? Where am I supposed to go with this? How can I use this in my life? Where am I supposed to be? And as we're going to go through things in life happening, it's amazing when we can say, oh, that it is not comfortable, but I can see how it's pushing me forward. I want you to know that love is with you during this moment. And I have felt my guides with me, supporting me more than ever. And I hope that when you're going through the it trigger, that you're feeling your guides, you're feeling your support team, you're not feeling alone. And if you are feeling alone, reach out. Reach out to someone safe, your safe friend that's not going to judge you, that can hold you in time. And if you can't, then find someone, tag albeit even, that can support you through these moments. Because as we have life happening, we can't do it alone. And I'm going to tell you, being alone right now is not at all comfortable. Being alone right now is all comfortable. I would like to offer to you that if you want to, type in a comment, have some interaction in this conversation, I would love to hear from you. I would love to interact with, because as we're going through these life altering experiences, that triggers us. Sometimes it's labeled person, but please, if I can offer, take the person out of the scenario and label the action that caused that it. I'm going to say that there was a scenario with me that things aren't going to work the way I thought they were, and it came out of the blue. So I'm not labeling the it or the person who sent me that scenario. It's the it that being dropped, being left, being in that moment. And how can I move it? Do you see I'm holding it? I'm not kicking it, I'm not screaming at it, I'm not, well, actually I did scream at it this morning. That I'm not always screaming at it. I'm moving it forward so it can be its greater good. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Erica. Yes, easier said than done. Tag, I understand that. Uh, that yes, and I agree. Thank you, Erica. That I agree. It's easier said than done, and that's why I'm saying, please don't stay with the it by yourself. If you need to reach out to someone who's safe, because it is about doing the it. I had information on Monday. Tuesday, I decided to spend time with someone. We had it planned way before the it happened, and so it was grateful. I love how the universe has synchronicity. That it was this gift that gave me a chance to not sit in my walls and wallow in the it. And as we move forward, and as we go through that graciousness, and I'm going to tell you, everybody's it is at a different level. Do not compare your it to somebody else's it, or your trigger to someone else's trigger. Your personal story is your personal story. And as we walk through those personal stories, your personal dance through the it is your personal inner growth. I'm going to say that again. Please do not compare your trigger, to someone else's trigger, because your personal walk, your personal trigger is yours. And that equals your personal inner growth, which is your personal story, your personal interaction. And as we go through those personal interactions, they help us grow, which no one else can compare because it's yours. Did somebody have the same exact childhood? Yes, we could have had siblings. Did they have the exact same childhood? No. So as we go through life and as we interact with life, know that our triggers are going to be something. And like I said at the beginning of this, there's something in what I'm saying today can trigger you. And it's always my intention to do it with love. And that's probably why things keep ending around me, because I trigger. And when we are someone who does trigger or does support people through triggers, there is this interaction of give and take, and love and light and blessings come and go. I want you to know that no matter what, going through and being human is not at all graceful. It's not at all graceful because when we get triggered by those it's, and if you notice, I'm leaving the people out of it because it's actually not the people. The people are the mail system. They're the mail that delivers us, and then we have to read the letter that is the trigger. So with that as we move on, we're doing that. So please work with the it. If you leave anything today, it's about taking the it away, and thank you. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so this is what we came up with today because we were just tired of being triggered by the it. So the it can be flugging, uckling, flubble. And I think I said that correctly. Flugging, plugging, ucking, flubbles. Now you can put in the word that you want with that. But if you remember back a couple of shows ago that I was working with a student who she thought she was making mistakes all the time. And I said, "You're not making mistakes, you're making flubbles." And those flubbles are just being human. So if you don't sound out a word right, it's not a mistake. You just don't know the word and you're trying to figure it out. It's kind of like, do we make mistakes when we're learning to walk, when we're learning to ride our bikes? No, it was practice to do better. And so flubbles, that's the word well, you can do with the 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 ucking. You can put that word in there because sometimes we don't want to say the word. And the fluggle. So that was the ugly, those ugly things, those ugly, ucking flubbles, mistakes that we make. And those it's that trigger us. It's amazing how thank you, Kathy, for writing that in because I remembered it, but I was in this moment. So I'm grateful for you because we were laughing. It was like sometimes when you get triggered, you have to find those things that help us move forward into the joy of where things can bring us to. Things are not meant to hurt us. They're meant to trigger us to awaken this part in us. Now, I'm going to label something that people are going to start noticing about me, and practice makes better. You may feel me wobble back. I have tried to tiptoe with people's emotions and care, and I have honored you. So the tiptoeing, that's what I want to go back to, the tiptoeing. Sometimes when I've tiptoed, I haven't stepped into the full message, the full energy of something, and it's caused a ripple effect that was not as cleanly as it was intended to be. So with that, okay, my part of me that's saying the ucking part of this whole dance is starting to say, put your full foot on the ground and walk. Be in your power, be in your knowing, be in who you are. Yes, does that mean that that I'm going to be gentle? Yes. Does that mean I'll have kindness with me? Definitely. Will that mean that my intention is always to have love? Definitely. Yet at the same time, though, standing in my power is that part of me that knows when to have a dimmer switch or a calmness because the intention is to be in the moment with that person. But stepping back because that forcefulness wasn't probably be good. So this is an observation that I'm having. It's still practice makes better. That's the part of us that I want to honor is that when we get triggered, there's an awareness that can come from that trigger that gives us an opportunity to grow. Now, I've said that before, right? we go into that moment of the it can be the ugly, ucking mistake, flubbles, that when we give that grace, when we give that knowing, when we give that moment to move forward, it's kind of cool to be the I am. Now, remember on Monday when I gave you the mantra, I attune to the energies of the now. I surround my body, soul, emotions, and mind with love as I dance with my I am. I kind of called that in, didn't I? Getting triggered on Monday. When did I give you that mantra? Was on Monday. So I guess it's time for me to dance with the I am. Dance with the I am. Yes, dance with the I am. So that means dancing with the grief, dancing with the erg to the it. Remember, we're not talking about the person, we're talking about the it that triggered us. And and as we dance with it, it brings out the I am, which is not always comfortable. So, with this interaction that came to me, that it gave me a chance to come into the I am. It put the fire in me. Now, this is the one thing that I'm grateful for, that I have an understanding of my astrology. So I know that my rising sun is Aries, fire, and my sun and my moon is Cancer. So I have two Cancerian signs and one Aries sign. So water and fire. What happens with fire and water when you mix it? Well, water tries to put out the fire, and fire tries to make steam out of the water and boil it up. Well, you know what? This it that happened today kind of fired up my fire of my Aries. Yet at the same time, though, the water is coming in and saying, let's make some good steam. Let's get this moving. What is this here to teach me to move me forward? What is this going to do for me? For me, not to me or at me, but for me to push me forward. And there was an awareness that came as I was talking with someone before this moment, that he had interactions with some of the it that I'm talking about. And he said that this interaction with this person was the moment that there's people in our lives, there's actions in our life, there's movements in our life that are supposed to push us, pick us up, give us support, and then say, time to go, time to go. And sometimes that's called human, sometimes that's called scenario, sometimes it's called um, the the energy of it. So person, maybe job that starts up, stirs us all up, gets us going, and then leaves. Or the energy flow. In other words, we get an information about something, and we thought we were going to go forward with it because it's an idea, but yet it didn't. But it got us up and moving. It got us up out of the house. It got us going forward. And if we can step into that, instead of having the reaction of the victim of it, yes, victimhood does come in, and that's part of grief. It's staying there. But if we can move forward with it and say, God, that freaking ugly thing hurt. Where's it going to take me? Where's it going to take me? Where is that thing going to take me now? Where is that energy field going to take me? And do you notice there's some energy behind it with me? Because the fact that I am allowing whatever it was supposed to teach me to move forward with it. And I'm inviting this with you too, because we're in this moment. We're in this explosive moment where we're getting triggered. And boy, if we can move with it, do you know how much cleaner and smoother we can go into our new future, our new story, our new book that we can write? And it's stepping into it. So Kathy here, Oh, Veronica says, "I love that mantra." Thank you, Veronica, because that's why I put it out there, was is that I wanted to support you. So here Kathy was saying, "Be open to learning new dance steps and discover how practice really makes better." Thank you, Kathy, for putting the words you keep hearing. Kathy and I spent time together yesterday. Um, that she's heard me saying dance with new new and practice the new practice to make better statement. She's heard me say that quite a bit, and so thank you for putting my words together so they flowed. Ah, I'm so grateful that sometimes I have these wonderful gifts that come to me that help through my dyslexic flubbles with words, because sometimes I put my predicate or predicate before my subject and my subject after my predicate, and it's like, yeah. But I'm getting there. That's a great metaphor for how we work through some of our triggers. Because sometimes, sometimes, that's all I'm going to say is sometimes. My love is with you through this moment. And I want you to know that it's okay to be triggered by the simplestness of, like the other day, my husband was triggered because my dog didn't eat breakfast when he wanted her to, or when we put it out there, which she usually does. But she didn't at this time. She didn't wanna eat at that time, and he got triggered. So, it could be something small, not comparing, it could be something small that is interacting with us to help us grow forward. Now, the words that came out of my mouth at that time, because he felt like he wasn't ready for that, is that I'm learning. This is, at this minute in time, something that I can't control. And as much as I put the food down at that time right now, babe, I'm sorry that I can't control that. So I'm not going to try. And he knew that I was in the moment of shifting and changing, and I knew he was in the moment of changing and shifting, but he needed some recognition that I said something about that. And as we move forward and get triggered, like I told you earlier, please don't worry about the level of what should trigger you and what shouldn't trigger you. It is what it is. And there's that part of us, because an example with my husband getting triggered about our dog not eating at the time when he wanted her to, that triggered part of his need or his need, his his the universe is setting, there we go, I like these wordings. Thank you, universe, for my team for coming in. The universe is setting up something to trigger him so that he can work on that experience, which was control at that minute. It's called life. It's really called life. And those moments of support, I can't tell you, because I can't count on my hands how many synchronicities I've had in the last, oh, like I said earlier, May, when things started happening, that full moon, the solstice, the new moon with the eclipse, and all these synchronicities that are happening. Even the gloriousness of my friend Kathy and I setting up last week, needing to spend time together on Tuesday, something happening on Monday, something happened for her that weekend too, and we needed to spend time together to navigate through those triggers, because doing it alone's not easy. So the universe helped us set up to have support for us working through our triggers, which were, I'm going to tell you that this trigger that got triggered in me was something that started when I was just a little kid. And and she's really wanting to be healed. And that's taking more than just a day. I'm giving her more than a day because it's been a lifetime. Actually, it's been quite a few lifetimes. This is that part of me that was deemed to be in the caves because I was too bright for people. I was too knowing for people. And so they put me in a cave. Or actually I put myself in the cave in some lifetimes. And that's that part of her that I'm saying it's time to come out of the cave. It's okay to shine your light. It's time to shine your light. And she's taking time to heal, and I can give her that time. So Kathy said, thank you everyone for communicating here. We're each supported by the universe. Know that what you need will be there when you best serves your healing and growth. So yes, Kathy, thank you. Those moments, if we flow with the it that triggers us, we're going to have support by the universe. And it's going to support us through that moment. I know that some of us don't always have the ability to do and to be. That's where we got to trust that if we're doing something or we're navigating through something and we get told to check TV, sometimes we're flipping through and there's a TV show that happens. Sometimes I'm in a funk and I flip on to Hallmark Channel and boy, just that, oh, there's crap that's happening there. Yep. But yet if we put ourselves into trust, get a little bit vulnerable, actually it's a lot vulnerable, and we dance with the new knowings that are coming to us, it's amazing what romance we can have with our lives. Doesn't have to be human. It can be romance with the energies that are coming towards us. It's that communion. It's that dance of where we're at. And as we're going through life, I'm going to tell you, grief right now is being triggered again. Fear is being triggered right now. Angst is getting triggered right now. Some PSD is being triggered right now. I'm going to be going on a trip down to visit my girlfriend in California. I haven't seen her for 4 years, and I had an experience in Spain where I had vertigo so bad that it took me over an hour and a half, actually 3, 4 hours to get back in my body. And it took me being in an old castle with those old stones, walking on them, touching them to get back in my body. I have a little angst flying, not because I'm a fear of flying. It's the vertigo that I have angst with. Well, what am I going to do with that angst? I'm acknowledging it, setting it up. My girlfriend was willing to buy me to have a plane ticket that I would have to land, go up and then land where I'm at. So go up, land, then go up and then land where I was going to be. Too many. So I just said, I'll buy my own ticket and I'll just straight shoot it. Put things in your life that help you navigate so that when we're triggered by grief, that we have tools. In other words, there's many times, remember that I've lost a lot of my family members. No, I have not lost a child. Oh, no, I have not lost a husband. Those are huge. Child is unspeakable. That when we're going through those moments, it's called honoring yourself. And like when there's sometimes when I get overwhelmed and I'm driving down the road and I have to tell my grief, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. And I have to pull over, have a moment with grief, cry, get angry, laugh hysterical, try to distract myself, whatever it is that needs to happen to get myself moving forward. But honoring that moment, move forward, go forward with your life, do what you need to do. Because the fact that when we're triggered, something triggers us, a song on the radio as we're driving, a commercial, TV commercial, an animal, an interaction with someone, this show. As we get triggered, know that we can move forward through it. It's called honoring the moment that you're in. Like this morning, something happened with an interaction that I had, and I went upstairs and I screamed. I screamed because scream needed to come out. Anger needed to come out. I cried a little bit, and then I slept for a few minutes. And then I got back up and said, okay, here I go. Here I go. Because those moments needed to be heard. Those energies needed to be heard. Those memories needed to be honored. Did you notice I put my hands in different ways? Because sometimes going backwards is going to be taking us forward again. So something that takes us backwards is going to take us forward again. Have love for yourself. Have interaction with yourself. That's the only way we can heal. And I can tell you that as I've helped many through this moment, and that's why I call it Natasha's life clarifications or life clarifications with Natasha, because life puts me into these what did we call them again? Sorry, I'm in a mode. Where are you, Kathy? Because we're going to be getting into these ucking flubbles, these ugly fucking mistakes or things that trigger us or whatever it is, that as we walk in life, be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, interact with yourself. Moments are coming. And I'm going to tell you that our bodies are going through immense change. Our awarenesses are going to come through immense change. What felt comfortable to us, doesn't feel comfortable to us anymore because it's not in our truth. Our truths are changing. Our fears are getting triggered. Our fears are really getting triggered. And it's really setting us up. Sorry, throat was saying it was getting dry. So with that as we go through these, we're going to have moments where we got to make choices. Ouch, that hurt. What am I going to do with it now? What is it here to teach me? How am I going to navigate to move forward? So, ouch, it hurt. Feel the grief. What am I going to do with it? Feel the ouch. Decide, am I going to allow that to stop my truth that feels so right to do? Make some decisions. Then, as you can go through and move forward, decide, okay, I can do it. I can do this. I can really do this. I can really do this. So I think that this is a great segue to put this in. That you notice that Kevin's not here. Well, he, in his growth pattern and my growth pattern, have the energies have decided to separate us. So with that it's time for me to step out on my own. Congratulations to me. I'm a matured person. I can do it. So with that, I'm grateful for everything that he helped me with. I'm grateful for everything that he triggered in me to help me grow. I asked for someone, and we talked about this, the synchronicity. I asked for someone in my life to help me to bring my technology up to date to help me grow. That's exactly what he did. And I am so forever grateful. I'm going to miss his kindness. I'm going to miss his love. I'm going to miss his interactions. He is a great man. Time for us to move forward. With that, I am moving forward. So you're going to find that Monday still I haven't interacted with Regan. So Monday is going to shift and change. Not too sure yet, but you're going to see me here Mondays and Wednesdays doing this work because I'm too called to do it to stop now. And as Kathy is saying, and reach out for assistance. Your angels, guides, and other people can be there for you, with you, to support you in your dance, to help you to decide to help you move forward in your dance of the I am. Oh, the I am. I am here to do the work I'm wanting to do, and I'm going to do it instead of tiptoeing. Instead of tippy-toeing, I'm going to do it with flat foot, with spring in my step, and with love in my grace. I have love for everyone, and at this moment, I feel some cards being called. I know, Veronica, I'm going to miss Kevin too. So with that things hurt, but they're meant to help us grow. They're meant to help us grow. And what you're seeing right now is that little girl that I talked about earlier that is asking to be heard because she's tired of being looked over. And now, remember how I've talked to you about my team sits at a round table? Sits at a round table. Well, this part of me that has been overlooked and stuff, she's going to come to my round table and have a voice. She's going to be my new team member to give me help me with grace to see things with a little different light, to have a voice for this fire that I feel in me right now that gives me the momentum for my water and my fire signs to assemble into this greatness. What is it that you said? Determination, gratitude, and grace. Yes. And Kathy, thank you for that teammate with me yesterday, because I know we were both unearthing a lot of things that were triggering us. And oh man, that personal growth we had yesterday was amazing. And thank you, Veronica. Your support has been grace too. Yeah, I'm grateful. So with that wisdom comes. And did you see how I honored that emotion in me? Yet at the same time, I helped her move forward so that she can see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, because triggers happen. Okay, so can I have some help? Okay, and it could be more than one deck. So Angel today, Oracle cards. Those are the ones that have different paths. Animal, or the wonderful fairy. And I'm going to start working with this fairy deck because isn't that interesting? Oh, isn't that interesting? Look at the card that just came up. Oh, the fairies. Look at this card that just came up. Isn't that interesting? One of each. Thank you, Kathy. I will do one of each. But look what was this about being triggered? And look at this. How many times do we tell ourselves that we need to hide when we're triggered? But do you see what that wisdom is going on behind those hands? What is going on behind those hands? And this card is what, 64? Oh, 64. 6 plus 4 equals 1. New beginnings. It's my one day. Yesterday was my 9-day endings. Today's my new day. Tomorrow is a new moon. What are we going to do? Are we going to hide with this new moon? New beginnings, new opportunities, new wisdoms? Are we going to be a little bit more vulnerable? Notice a little bit more naked here. Vulnerable with who we are, and know that, oh, shh, that, what is that? The ucking bubble triggered me again. Can we take our hands down and say, here I am. Here I am. Okay, so one of each. So we just had this fairy deck. Okay. And I'm going to learn more with this deck. I'm going to put myself on that homework. Okay, so Let's do the oracle cards first. Okay, so I'm going to ask, what is it that you want to tell us about our future? Oh, okay. So this one here is calling to me. Disruption. Disruption. So in order to go down our path, we need to have disruption. We're in this moment where growth can happen. And if you notice, I've used these cards before, it's always the same path. It depends on what perception we have. So disruption, the trigger. If we don't have those triggers, many times, yes, hands on the heart. Thank you, Kathy. Yes. Hands to the heart. I love me. Yes. Loving ourselves is the greatest gift we can give. And actually, that card just dropped here. So disruption. Disruption helps us to see a cleaner path to go down to. If I didn't have my disruption of what happened on Monday, I wouldn't see this path that I am to walk full-footed on the floor instead of tiptoeing. So the disruption helps us. Animal is next. What do you want to? Who is here to support us? Who is here to support us? Who is here to support us through this dance? And what is the vision that you want to help us with? This card, the top card. Oh, hummingbird again. Didn't we have hummingbird on Monday? We had hummingbird on Monday, and hummingbird is about getting the nectar of life. So the disruption to the nectar of life, getting that moment of finding the sweetness. What do they go to? They go to the flowers that have great, that are a little bit more in, so that their tongue can go in and get the nectar, right? All the hummingbird feeders have it to where they can go in and get the nectar. So we have to make the effort to go in and get the sweetness of life, because we have to go through the disruption and the hiding of our triggers. So with that, hummingbird. So 4 plus 4 is 8, the infinity sign. As above, as below. As knowing, as unknowing. As rhythm, as unrhythm. As moments, as unmoments. As triggers, as healing. As grace, as ungrace. It's the infinity sign. As above, as below. It can go this way too. So work with where we're at, because we're going to be going, our emotions are going to be doing this. The infinity sign, the figure 8, it's going to be doing this. Honor it. Like I said this morning, I screamed. Ooh, it was not a pretty scream. It was very, very anger. It was full of anger. But yet I needed that explosion to get to this healing. Okay, so now I almost put away the other fairy deck. Okay, so now we're going to go to the angels. So angels, what grace can we give? As Kathy was saying, love. So every one of this is about love, but do you notice how it has different languages for it? So what card? Okay, stop. Yes. So 2 cards wanted to come out with the angels. Of course. They're always wonderful. Okay, so we have Uriel and we have Raphael. Uriel. So Uriel, he's the angel of emotions. Your emotions are being healed, which enables you to open up to greater love. I will help you release anger and forgiveness for your heart and mind. Your emotions are being healed, which enables you to open to greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness for your heart and mind. Isn't that what we were talking about? And then we have Raphael. Raphael is a close brother to Michael. So Archangel Michael is the one with the fiery sword. He's the one with the cowboy boots. He is the one that says, get your, like today, I was wanting to get up and get things moving, and he put me into where I had to take a nap. I had to shut down to restart again. And his grace. Well, Raphael is the angel of Reiki. He's the healing angel. So I'm helping you to heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are the healer like me. So Raphael is I'm helping you to heal your physical challenges and yourself and others. You're a healer like me. So with that we all are healers, we can heal ourselves. I.e., scream this morning was a healing process. Taking a nap this afternoon was another healing process. And laughter along the way. It's just one of those things that as we're going and Amanda, thank you very much for being here. I will do that. I have one more card to keep the flow going here. So with these are the fairy deck, and these are Doreen Virtue's angel decks. Okay. So I'm picking a card for the messages. And welcome, Amanda. I am so grateful. So Amanda is new here. I'm here, and tell me about the stream is about. Okay. So I will. So with the fairies, so we had our first fairy, right? Okay. This is the more gentle fairy deck, I would call it. A lot of kids like this deck because it's sweet and it's movement and it's life. So fairies, what are you wanting to tell me? It's feeling coming. Okay, top card. So the top card. Walk away. Walk away. So sometimes we have to walk away from a trigger to get moving. So leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that are opening as a result. So with that, if you listen to these podcasts that I do, the one on Monday, and right now it's called Life Between Lives, where we talk about the soul's journey. That one's going to stay Monday. And this one at 4:00 on Life Clarifications. It's about helping someone go through life. How can we manage what happens to us? And today the theme was about triggers. So how can we work through those triggers? Because we all have them. It's called being human. And if we watch the other videos, I talk about triggers. That as we walk away, it's not about walking away who we are. Now, like I was saying, have I changed who I am? No, but you may hear a little bit more oomph behind my voice. And that's called because I'm walking with my feet on the ground instead of tiptoeing in my power. I'm offering this to you. Those triggers, those moments. Remember, it's not about the people or the situation. It's getting to the it. What is the it that is triggering you so that you can become lighter and movement? Now I'm going to repeat a little bit what I said before. The it for me is the Natasha that has always been left, kicked, looked over, left in a cave in past lives, doing all those things that are navigating through us. And as we move forward in life, if we can release ourselves from the it, walk away from what is triggering us, and get down to that moment of who we are, we can walk away from it. Because I can tell you, what the information I got on Monday is really helping me actually push me towards my greater future. With that I want you to know that you have the angels. You have whatever you choose to believe in. Because I can tell you, the angels, They don't have any, you can be anybody and they'll support you. They're not based in any religion. Now, some religions like to talk to them about it, but at the same time, though, that they're not based in any religion. And with things that are happening in our lives and going through our lives, that they're here to help us. Didn't we just have Uriel and Raphael step up? And it wasn't one angel, because as Kathy said, one of each. No, it was more than that. And as we work through life and as we walk through life, things are going to happen to us and we're going to get triggered. Now, that's where so so Amanda, thank you very much for speaking up here. Oops, I'm sorry. I was going to go to Amanda here. I'm having a tough time managing my work life and home life together because I'm a lesbian, troubled, polygamy relationship. So what do I do? Oh, ow. Okay, my love goes to you. And thank you for coming into this. I have a transgender daughter, so there was a. I love your individual path is yours. If, like I tell people, I have no judgments because if I haven't done it in this lifetime, I've done it in other lifetimes. So with that things are stirring up to get us to be clearer. Now, I'm a medium, intuitive personal awareness coach, and so if you would like to get in touch with me at angelicclarifications.com, you can reach out and we can have a session, and I can help you through more of this personal dance. So what should you do? I'm going to give you a quick version here. Because I have 2 wives. Yes, personalities. Oh man, personalities are getting really shooken up. I'm going to tell you that. Personalities are really being shooken up, and people aren't who they used to be. It's really an interesting process to walk with people nowadays. People are getting triggered left and right, and sometimes we gotta say, like what, my husband this morning, I'm not gonna pick on us because he knows I talk about us, that this morning I said something just off the cuff, like, do we have, I'm painting a door, and I said, "Do we have wood glue?" And he, in his rush to get off to work, in his mind was saying, "Oh, she needs to figure out how to tack down the strips right now." And so he got his air gun out, his this and this and this, and he says, "So when you're done painting today, at lunch, we'll flip over the table and da 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 da." And it's so interesting how it's like, how did me asking if I have wood glow triggered all that? And then he got upset that I just said, "I don't know if I'm going to get to that part of it yet, babe." And we text, everything's healed. We knew it was a moment. I, in my intuitiveness, knew what the bigger picture was. As we work through life and as we go through life, people are getting triggered and things are happening. Um, and as we're managing things, things are happening and we're all getting triggered. And oh, my love goes to everybody. And Corey, damn, that's some labels. Yes. We got to get out from the labels. We got to get out from the labels. And if you listen back on this whole video, you're going to notice that I stayed out of labels. I even called the trigger that I was in the it, because it's the it of who I am, or the it that who we are, the emotion in us that gets triggered that helps us move forward. And as we work through life and as we go through life, and here I'm on my hour, and I usually try to keep this closer to an hour. Oh, let me see. What did Gloria, did he have any wood glue? Yes, we had wood glue, but yet at the same time, it's that story. So as we move forward and as we go, life is happening for us, and I'm going to label to us to trigger us to move forward. I'm going to offer, please go to my website, go to my um, YouTube channel, uh, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications. Go to my Facebook channel or Instagram channel, because I do inspirational quotes, short videos to support this walk in life. And as we go and as we move forward, I understand life is happening for us and we're getting triggered, and it's time to have help. It's really time to have help. If we know that if we have support, i.e., like I said before, if it wasn't for Kathy, if it wasn't for my other friends, if it wasn't for my husband who gave me that emotional trigger to express anger, I wouldn't be this loving self right now. And as we go through life and move forward, life is happening. Life is happening. And if you were to set up a session with me to help, how would I reach out to you? Yes. So you can go to my Angelic Clarifications website, or you can email me at natasha@angelicclarifications.com. And you can see right here, angelicclarifications.com. Thank you for reaching out. So Kathy, uh, expectations and perceptions. What are you attached to? And what are we gently shifting to allow changes to honor our all? Sorry, dyslexic reading while I'm intuitive is kind of an interesting dance sometimes. So expectations and perceptions. What are you attached to? And what can you gently shift to allow changes to honor all? Yes, as we walk through, I can tell you that the shift that I had, the trigger I had on Monday, it brought out grace in my marriage, which is helping. So remember that as we work with things, as we navigate through things, as we dance with things, life happens. How can we support each other? So going back over the cards real quick. So here's support for you, Amanda. I can't even manage one wife, let alone two, LOL. People people and personalities. Oh, oh, what a dance we are. So we can have a choice, the first fairy card. We can hide from what our vulnerability is, because if you see no clothes or very few clothes, are we to hide from our vulnerability? Are we to hide from who we are? Are we going to be who we are? Because disruption helps us to find the nectar and the beauty of life. How many times do we have a hummingbird in our lives that the beauty of its reflection can give us sunshine, give us those moments of nectar, the grace? So remember also that the males are very protective. They are very territorial. So how can we be territorial in our knowing and protection? Protection, because we have angels. We have Uriel, Uriel, backwards in this platform. Uriel to help us with our emotions. We have Raphael to work with our energies and heal us. Because if we're to walk away from the emotional triggers of who did it to what are they triggering in us to support us. So take yourself away from who and manage the it. What is it triggering us to move forward? Because it's not walking away in anger, frustration. It's actually, what is she doing? She's walking away with a greater vision, with a gentleness, with a vulnerability to say, what is this supposed to bring me to now? What is this to bring me now? So with this, I want you to know that my love is with you. The angel love is with you. You have the animals supporting you. So, Amanda, I want you to start noticing the animals that are coming to you. The hummingbirds, the butterflies, the birds that fly across your path. Like if I'm going down the freeway, sometimes I have crow flying across in front of me. Crows are one of the smartest birds. What smarts can I use in the magic that I have? So start checking in with what's helping you and supporting you because you're not alone in this process. You are really not alone. And I'm asked to pick one more card in this deck. Hmm. The Fire Fairy. The Fire Fairy. Creative action, optimism. So when you have those triggers, remember, find the fire in you to create optimism. What is this supposed to do with me? What is this supposed to take me? Where am I supposed to go with this? I send love. So where you can find me is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm at Natasha Venter, and sometimes it's 1196 or Angelic Clarifications on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube, which some of you have found me on YouTube. Congratulations. Please like and share wherever you're at because I am here, this calling, and I'm going to tell you this trigger really cleaned it up. This trigger really cleaned up and made me make sure what is my calling? My calling is to be here to support. So you're going to find me here on Mondays at 4 Pacific time and 4 on Wednesdays at Pacific time. So both at 4 o'clock. Blessings to you, and I hope to support you. And know that you do have angels, no matter what your belief system is, and you're never, ever alone. Blessings to you and all. Have a great time. Oh, new moon, new ideas, new passions. What are you going to create in your life? It's a new opportunity for a new book. What are you going to write for your new story? Please take out the negatives because positives brings light. So I'm going to go back to this mantra. I attune to the energies of the now. My body, mind, spirit, and emotions are surrounded with love as I dance with my I am. Blessings and love. See you on Monday or on the other platform.